Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome back, y'all, to the VFL in the Lane with Jarnell Stokes and myself, co-host Alexis Hornbuckle. We got a very special guest today, Isaiah Stokes. That's right, we got the Stokes brothers in the building. So make sure y'all stay tuned, get your questions ready. Also, big thank you to our sponsors, Hound Dogs in Knoxville, on Kingston Pike, Tennessee Tap House on Peters Road. Also, I'm sorry, I messed that up. My bad, y'all. Happy Saturday. You feel me? But also, y'all can call in 865-424-1342. That's the call-in number. We would love to hear from y'all. Whether it's a question, whether it's a statement, let us know how we're doing. Hate it, love it. You know what I mean? Doesn't even matter. Also, you'll find all of the links that we're going to mention today in the description. That way you can stay updated. And my thing that I'm most excited about is our merch. Yo, we got some merchandise coming up. We got face mask. Okay. We got the Lady Ball face mask. All right. We got the checkerboard face mask and also the UT face mask. So y'all make sure y'all come and support us, support our show. I'm going to let Jarnell do this introduction, man. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, you guys? I appreciate you guys spending time. Appreciate the introduction, Alexis. I got my little brother with me, Memphis alumni. I'm gonna actually let him do his introduction, but in short, man, this is like my best friend, like seriously, and he has a lot of, I've gone through obstacles and has a lot of wisdom to share as well. Just even as a college kid, I'm sure his perspective can help numerous people. So with that being said, Isaiah, you got something to say to the people?
What's up, y'all? Isaiah Stokes here, former Florida Gator, now playing at the University of Memphis. As I can say, my college experience here has been, up and down. But on the good side of things, man, it's all about the end goal. So I'm definitely thankful for it, and I'm down to answer any questions that come up.
Awesome, yeah. So let's get into it. What's just super short, Alexis? What I know you've been in Knoxville. Has there been any new news lately? Anything going on? I know football season. The biggest thing right now is COVID and racism, but they're trying to figure out if they're opening back schools too. So we never actually got clarity as far as in Tennessee, right?
Yeah, no, and I haven't even been back to when I was supposed to go meet. Matter of fact, Bobby, our producer, I was supposed to meet him in Knox, and had a death in the family, so I couldn't go do that. But they're still trying to figure it out. I mean, at least the kids are back; they're working out and stuff. But school, I don't know how you have sports without school because you're a student athlete. But I know that the university needs their money. You know how that go. So I think it's going to be more like trial and error. I honestly, I think that's how it's going to look. I mean, the smaller schools are actually cutting sports this year. So if you're talking, D2 schools, mid-majors.
Did it already cost them money? So they went ahead and just cut what was costing? Or are they making money from sports?
No, they can't make the money to support the other sports. So they have to cut certain sports that don't bring in a lot of revenue anyway. And so say it might be like, I don't know, men's tennis or something like that get cut. I know some soccer teams that their season not happening. So that's kind of what you're looking at in the sports world, trial and error. I mean, it's kind of hard to contain a virus, number one, anyway. Now you talking about contact sports. Come on, bro. That don't even make sense.
Hey, would you trust your kid around that? Like my little sister who's supposed to be around me right now. I guess they're starting back school in Memphis, like August, what's that, 10th or something? Yeah, so
everybody's starting back school.
Mm-hmm.
Even here in North Carolina.
I don't know if I could trust just like someone else. Like they're not doctors. I can see if we had teacher doctors. It's just a bit different. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you what do you do in that situation? Because you also got to work as a parent. Like I'm in a position where like I would just having money, I would hire homeschool. I don't know if I want to send my kid to school anyway these days, but it's kind of crunk where at least where I went to school. But I'm more so talking just what do you do as a parent? Like homeschool definitely seems like a good ideal, but then again, do you teach them yourself? There's so many different Like sports is the least of my worries. Let's just put it like that. That if I was a parent, getting my kid on the basketball court would be the least. But then again, you have this situation where it's obvious that the media has blown up the situation. So I heard, and this is just me doing like research on Spanish flu back in the day, like 1918. It happened a few times, but the most recent one actually never went away. It literally just turned into a situation where the people came together and said, you know what, we just have to live with this, or we're gonna go crazy in other areas. So I'm confused. Like how would you like what do you do as a parent?
It's tough, man. I mean, I would suggest homeschool. Like if I had kids, like, nah, y'all ass ain't going to no public school. Like, no, okay, not
Yeah.
happening. It's not happening. But at the same time, like you say, who's going to teach them? Is it the parents, or do you have the teachers that would be teaching physically in the schools actually still teaching online? Then that runs into another problem. Teachers are mainly, a lot of them are older. So this whole tech boom, it's beyond them. So outside of them sitting like your math teacher, your chemistry teacher, like how they going to teach online to kids? Now college, like, if you're a senior and in college kids, that's different. You're understanding and you have a good foundation of whatever subject that you're in. But kids, you're still teaching them those foundations. So it's really important. And then some kids learn better interacting. So I think you would either do homeschool, or I know people out in this area, some of the parents, they do like invite like 2-3 other kids over, and then they have one mom teaching.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that helps. But then that brings up another question. Like we talk about college, like what if they take that route and do the online teaching and it just turns into just passing out degrees? Isn't the most important thing about college the environment and meeting people, and like you don't get much from the degree as you do when you're actually meeting that alumni that helps you start a business. That's what college is all about, meeting the right people. So I'm in a situation where I'm kind of wondering if college has that same importance. I mean, I was already wondering with some of these tuition, like think I didn't have to pay that, and I don't have to continue paying that loan, but I don't know. Like, is college the same? Like, are players gonna start going to like?
It can't be the same, bro. It can't be the same. It cannot be the same because there is college, like you say. It's about the relationships that you build, the interactions that you have, like you said. But at the same time, come on now, college. I'll talk about myself. I got it in. You feel me? I'm out all the time. I'm at parties. I'm throwing parties, going to parties, club, whatever, because that's what you do at college. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like your prime time, have fun years while also handling your business in the classroom and on the court. So realistically, our kids, 18 to 21 years old, going to practice proper social distancing. We know the little kids ain't. They like little kids are nasty. Like they sneeze and cough on their hand, dap each other up, give each other hugs, all types of lick somebody food and give it to like they do nasty stuff, right? Kids we know not going to practice it. College kids, I think that they would be happy doing online school because you ain't got to get up and drive or walk to class or do whatever. But at the same time, you aren't really building relationships. You just having like a virtual relationship. And if they were on campus, people going to be partying. Fraternities, sororities, just clubs trying to make their money, restaurants trying to make their money. And what's going to happen is it's going to have a snowball effect. You feel me? So I don't know what you do, Jarnell. I don't know. It don't make sense to me. I think that, to be honest, everything should have been shut down for 14 days before even thinking about starting school.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because I'm thinking like just when you get a degree, you're supposed to get taken care of. And like you're not only just a part of an entire school, you also you part with those brothers, like the people that go there, that class, that those alumni that went there, you meet them on campus through certain events. It's like if you don't get all of that, I'm not sure it's worth 40, 50,000 to go to, you know, a certain school. Just being honest. I mean, it sounds crazy to us because we got scholarships, but it's a
Yeah.
real crisis going on right now. Like people have to pay debt that's like shouldn't be paying it. But you can go get that charger right quick.
Yeah, I got
He gonna go grab a charger right quick. Then he got some words to share too. But yeah, I'm on 1%, man. It's looking bad. I remember last show it just cut off on me, but you had my back.
Man, if you
Yeah.
don't start charging your devices, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm so bad with electronics. Like I'm an old soul for sure. So
Yeah, hey,
it's just
listen, I
hard for me.
understand.
Yeah. So I kind of like that's kind of one way I keep it real. I find ways to just go deeper, dig deeper within myself, and I find ways to just like I just go dark. Like I limit communication, and then I just come out of it much stronger, wiser. Like so, I feel it when I'm doing different projects.
Right.
It's just like a different push and pull. You see a chart over there?
Yeah.
You hear it.
Um,
1%.
I'm interested to hear, you know, Isaiah's perspective as a current college. You know what I'm saying? Like, what school wise, like, would you feel safe going back on campus?
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
interested to hear about that. What about y'all? Everybody who's listening and watching right now, how do y'all feel about, you know, the start of school coming in? I would love for y'all to go ahead and call in and give us your insight because number one, we don't have kids, and number two, I would like to know different perspectives of people who do have kids or people that are near college towns. How do y'all feel about this?
Yeah. Seriously, that's great point. And I guess you know while I'm trying to get this charger hooked up, I think it's important. Just put it in.
It is not
Trying to choose. Just put this on. Let's just pick one. But yeah, I just you know I want to make sure that we also talk about you know some stuff that's going on around Knox. Come on. What is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And one story that was really not bothering me, but it's like I don't know. Well, have you heard anything new about Knox? Well, about the Lady Boss?
I have not heard anything new. Like I said, I know they are back working out and whatnot.
Okay.
But I'm not sure how it's going to go. I mean, as a coach and administration, you still got to set your schedule. You still got to prepare as if everything's going to be normal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And I guess, well, maybe I'll say that I'm gonna try to get Izzy on the show. I think you should try to get maybe some of your Lady Balls on the show, and you know,
for sure.
try to save it for that conversation. But yeah, I guess just moving forward, you got anything you want to share? Like, you know, I know you close to get back to school pretty soon, and I hadn't even really talked to you about it, so I don't know much.
Man,
so this be news to me. But are you being pushed to go back? Is it you know, what is it looking like as far as?
It's kind of crazy. So, man, right now it's basically like the first, second week of going right now. The most recent thing they've added is one coach, one player. So it's one coach and one player working out. That's it. It's all the baskets separated. And actually, about 2 days ago, I just got some news that Memphis is going all virtual online. So, back to comment on what y'all were saying, I think that my best asset or one of the best things that I got from Florida was meeting people. Like some of my mentors and some of the people that I've met there are going to be lifelong friends, even though they may be 20 plus years older than me, you know? So I definitely can attest to that. But I do think that it's going to be different, you know, just having it all online and trying to incorporate the basketball with it is weird, but I'm going to be different. I wonder how this is going to work out.
That's true. That's true. Do you think they'll like, you know, I know you had just took an online course. Was it hard? Do you think they'll be like more lenient? Is it just going to be like an easy, you know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, you even taking tests, sometimes you could literally just get the answers. Like it's easy to cheat in college. So now an online course is just like that's just like fucking magic show.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I
like,
definitely
we've been
get
showing out back in the day. Like, so, you know, it takes a lot of integrity to do your own work when no one is looking.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Is that tying into, you know, college, or, you know, you think people will actually have that integrity and learn the skills?
I think it'll go both ways, honestly, because I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of classes that I looked up and, you know, all the answers like right there. But I'm trying to get 2 degrees right now. I'm in a business school right now, and being in those classes is nothing on mine. But with that said, I do think that, man, it's just gonna like just just get crazy, man.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I'm kind of wondering, because I remember when I went to college, I had, you know, different, like when I was just going back to high school, people sometimes thought that I was mentally challenged, not the people, but more so the teachers, because, and I just be point blank period, I really didn't apply myself. Like, let's just be real.
Point blank period.
Karen, that was my hardest thing. Like, that was the skill that I didn't really understand, like how to care. So I cared more about like the basketball, and I cared more about like one day, you know, dumb stuff like getting a girlfriend or something. You know, I wanted to have a family and that type of stuff, but I never cared about like education. And then, you know, I get older and I start realizing that, you know, as a college sports player growing up, I was never really put in positions to be successful. I was literally just rolled a ball and said, you know, go hoop. You know what I'm saying? So I was just in a position. I'm in a position now where I can do shows and podcasts and you know, do different business things. And just to hear you say, you know, your talk about your college experience, you know, it just really brings memories. Alexa, tell me something that happened during your college experience. You know what? Give me you know, one of your favorite times off the court.
Off the court.
Yeah.
I would probably say non-basketball off court experience that kind of sets with me is I spent a lot of time in the library, believe it or not. Like, so just being in there and being able to study or join like study groups or finish projects, and obviously the library never closes. Certain parts close, but the whole library in itself doesn't close. So for me, being able to, you know, I'm sleepless. I can't sleep. It's 1, 2 in the morning, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just go to the library and work. And then you see so many other people there. You know, it's not as packed as it is during the day, but you see a lot of other people there studying, and you might see somebody in your class. So I'm going to the library thinking I'm gonna do something on my own. I run into somebody else. I'm like, hey, look, did you finish this? And then you're starting a whole different conversation and meeting people outside of your team and your sport, athletics, period. So I thoroughly enjoyed that because I'm a people person anyway. But just to see like the type of people and the diversity that was in the library during odd hours. Like, I don't know, that for some reason that was pretty dope to me. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. In the library though, you wouldn't expect that. Like a
No.
champion in the library. But I remember like when I was like friends with Isabel Harrison,
Yeah.
and you know, a lot of lady Vols were in the library. Like, do you think that's like the culture there? Is that something that's just like written? Because I'm saying, you saying this, you know, 5 years from when I went there,
Right.
and I'm sure they're still doing that, and they were doing that back then. Is that like something that Pat Summitt just drilled into the organization? Like, what is that? Because they're not doing it on my side. I can tell you that.
Yo, Coach Summitt was, you know, academics, and then we can get to basketball. So, you know, we were, yeah, yo, Coach ain't play that. So you got to say, yeah,
you talking about education? Are you serious? Like, who would suspect that?
Well, that's why Lady Vols have 100% graduation rate too. So she stressed that, like, you're not coming on her campus to be a part of her team and her legacy, and you're not going to graduate. That's not even an option. Like, everybody that stayed, whether it was 2, 3, 4 years, if you stayed there, you graduated, period. And I'm not talking about people coming back to finish degrees. I'm talking about you graduating before you leave.
Yeah.
Everybody, bro. Everybody. So like classroom rules, bro, we had to sit in the first 3 rows of every class. And they would have people walk around and check. You can try to sit in that 4th row or in the back if you want to, but that the coach come by or a class checker come by and it's a wrap. You're going to be running. You're going to have 5 a.m. workouts. You're going to be doing all that because she didn't play that. Like there were consequences, just like in practice, you got turnovers or whatever. You don't run the play right. We on the line, right? Same thing in the classroom. You're not in them first 3 rows. You're not turning in your homework. Did you skip a class? Are you going late to class? Get on the line.
Did you know this before you committed? You
Yeah,
knew all that.
I was a knucklehead. I needed that type of
yeah. Like what knucklehead? No, they need that. You know what I'm saying? That's tough. Like, no, I salute you. I salute you for real. That's what's up.
And I think that's why my parents used to get so mad because I'm a knucklehead, but I'm like extremely intelligent. So they're like, you know better. Like, why are you doing that? You know better. And I'd be like, I don't know. I just felt like doing it. I don't know. You know?
Was it all like? Was that easy? Like, was it easy for Pat? I don't know. Like, I know, like, it was the opposite. I actually hear opposite stories with Bruce Pearl, so that's a whole nother story. Was you there when Bruce Pearl was there?
I love Pearl, man. I love Pearl, man.
Oh man, I got so many stories about dudes.
like Pearl crazy, but he was a good kind of crazy. I liked him.
Yeah, he was a people person for sure.
Sure. Yeah. He used to work out with him, run with him, lift with him. Like when he first got there.
Damn. Okay.
I respected that because coaches ain't coming in and doing that. You feel me?
Nah. Penny working out?
Yeah.
Penny Harder?
Yeah, he used to be on the side on his own. He got bad knees.
No, I thought he was still hooping though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he do. He actually do partake in practice, but just awesome. Yeah. More Mike Miller when he was. He was in there full time.
Mike was hooping.
Yeah, Mike was in there full time. Yeah. Cody Topper too. Yeah,
that's crazy. That was my
vibe when your coaches is out there grinding with you. You feel me? It just makes you grow.
Yeah, for real. You said sometimes Mike would like practice, but did he like really play? Or
man, I'm talking about
he like really.
I'm talking about we'd have 5-on-5. If one person go down, he's in maybe the last 15 minutes of the scrimmage. Like,
that's crazy.
Coaching, still hooping with us is like a real time hoop.
Why he do? Who was that dude he put on the video? It was trending. It was a 1-on-1 clip. I wish we could just play it right here. He gave him like 15 buckets straight.
That was a team
the day
before
he
I got
retired.
there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The day he retired, I was like, man, Mike Miller, yeah, but he was a huge influence. Like he played on the AAU team with Isaiah. His AAU team. So yeah, so he kind of. I've been knowing Mike. I played with Mike Miller with the Nuggets like 3 years ago. So yeah, that's my dog, man. That's good to know though. That's good to know.
Oh yeah.
But man, what else going on around Knox?
Well, before we move on to that, I just want to give a shout out to Big Vol Daddy, watching us right now on YouTube.
Big Vol Daddy.
Yeah, appreciate it. He said Jarnell Lex. He said Jarnell Lex. What's up, Jarnell? Isn't that the one suggestion I gave you for the name of the show? Good pick for the name. So appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, he did though. He did. I forgot where it came from, but now appreciate that.
Yeah. So I mean, I got some questions for Isaiah though. Like being a young blood, you still a young blood. You know, how are you balancing like once this pandemic hit? What was your first thought? Like, oh, this is something that's happening. We're going to be back at it. And now, like, what are your thoughts when it first hit? And then what are your thoughts about it now when it comes to like we were talking about athletics and academics?
Man, when the pandemic first hit, I'm not even going to lie, I was terrified, mainly because it was more media fear driven and Jarnell was in China. That's where it was from. And just the whole 9 yards, everything was canceling. But as time went by, I actually think that it was the best thing for me mentally. I would say off the court, but on the court, man, I couldn't even. It's hard finding a gym a lot of times. If I want to get a gym, for example, out here, now I had to go through my teammates, but do I want to take the risk of his 15 teammates being there also? Are they doing what they're supposed to do? But But when this pandemic first hit, it took a toll on me mentally. But I feel like I'm coming out for the better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that makes perfect sense. And we got a caller. Dee Dee's calling in, so we're gonna see what she got to say.
What's up, Dee Dee?
Get it rocking here. Hey, Dee Dee, can you hear us?
Actually, I think you got my name mixed up. This is BBD, Big Ball Daddy, calling in.
Oh, Big Ball Daddy. It said DDD.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. It's a written out
screener.
Script, it's not perfect over here. It's not perfect.
Yeah, that's all right. The screener has trouble understanding redneck, I guess. I don't know. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Doing good, man. Appreciate the call.
I got a question for each one of you.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with Alexis first. What was it like practicing against dudes? I know Pat always put you guys up against dudes, and when you were practicing, how did it feel schooling those guys every day on the court?
I grew up playing with guys. Like, to be honest, I didn't really do like all girls until I was 7th or 8th grade outside of AAU. So being in college and going up against the guys, for me, that's the best because they're faster, they're more physical, they're typically more athletic. And for me, it's like, okay, if I can handle my own or beat them every single day, then what am I going to look like on the court versus other women? So for me, it was just motivation to beat them every chance, whether it's on offense or defense, whether it's grabbing a board and talking smack, whatever it is, it actually helped my game. And you can never take a possession off, or as Coach Summer used to tell us, you can never be a mental midget and just clock out. Big time players make big time plays. So we were constantly, my mindset was like, I got to make a play.
Mental midget.
Did those guys actually talk smack to you in practice?
Sure, man. Listen, if you're a competitor, I don't care, guy, girl, whatever, you talking shit, like it's a fact. It's a fact.
Yeah, that's true. That's fact. That's fact. Very true.
Speaking of talking a little bit of shit, Alexis, how do you think you would do against Jarnell one-on-one? Be real now.
Hey, yo, I'm giving him buckets. What is you talking about?
We on the block. We in the post.
Yeah. Wherever we need to go. I'm just saying.
I don't know about that.
Hey, look, don't miss. Nah, I can't handle you on the block. That ain't my forte. We gotta go out like one.
Nah, Alexis got clamps though. It's gonna be hard getting around for sure.
Yeah, see, that's why I said I gotta push you out. You got me on the block.
Yeah. Don't be trying to set a charge either. If I drive.
I was gonna say,
the first thing you do.
I was just gonna say, be careful. He can't take a charge very well.
He got me. All right, man. That was a good one.
All right, Isaiah. I got one for Isaiah.
What's up, man?
First of all, welcome to Volunteer Roadshow. Bobby's a good friend of mine. Man, what's wrong with you? What was going through your head when you chose Florida over UT? And why didn't Jarnell smack you upside your head and straighten you up?
Hey, that's a good question. To be honest, growing up as the little brother, I wanted to, I always used to see the Vols, Memphis, that Tennessee, they fight against each other all the time. And when my brother chose this spot, man, I was a fan, 100% fan, just like how you all are. But when it came down to choosing my own lane and going my own ways, I felt that it was best to, I don't want to say live in a shadow, but I feel it was best for me to evolve and become my own. And I think doing that at another institution, but with the same rivalry and stigma, would go a long way. So I feel like that's why I chose Florida, still in the South, SEC. When I went to TBA, it was all love. So, I feel like that's why I really ultimately chose it.
I guess we can't hold that against you. You kept it in the SEC, I guess, there for a little while. So.
Yeah, for
At least
sure.
it wasn't Alabama.
Y'all play Tennessee this year?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
They play at Memphis too. Yeah.
Okay, so that rivalry is going on for.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's crazy. He took it. That's crazy.
Chris Barnes reinstated it though.
Yeah,
they put it back in.
Yeah, Passionate was scared back then.
Yeah.
You remember that, Big Daddy?
Say it again.
When Coach Passionate was scared to play us when I forgot what year was that.
Oh yeah. Oh
junior, yeah.
Yeah. Is it okay for me? Is it okay for me to call him a bitch on this show? I don't know.
Absolutely.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
As long as he, at Memphis. No, I'm joking.
Man, the Memphis-Tennessee basketball rivalry should never go away. That should be something that happens every year, kind of like Tennessee and Alabama and football. That's something that needs to happen every year.
Mm-hmm.
Beating those guys never gets old.
Exactly, man. We grew up watching it, and family, like numerous people from Memphis go to Knoxville. Sometimes vice versa. So, and it's probably those are the two biggest universities in Tennessee, right?
Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vandy doesn't count.
I'm gonna say that too.
They're little brothers and little sisters.
Yeah.
Last questions for Jarnell, and then I'll let you guys go. What was it like playing overseas compared to playing here in the States? And you guys keep doing a great job. You're in good company with my buddy Catfish, and keep doing a great job. And I'll keep watching you guys, and love all you guys. You got that volunteer blood in you, so that it's like family. You guys take care.
The true men in the VFL, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, to answer your question, it was pretty much I had this opportunity to live in my own world. I don't know if you know this term called epigenetics, but here, one of my doctor terms that it helped me to start a business is basically the belief of wherever you are, wherever, whatever you put around, whatever you put within you becomes you. So I took this on overseas in a situation where I was able to get away from the American lifestyle. We like road games was like, every week was a party, every day. Like there were times where I would travel to freaking LA to talk about, not to talk about, but I would travel to just to, a BET after party just to be in practice the next day. You don't get a chance to do things like that overseas. So you get a chance more so to focus on life and, to build. And, I kind of grew up in a very, very tough environment. I wouldn't say it was tough, like, murders and gangs. I was around that stuff, but more so, military and, being targeted in different situations, still, surrounded, asked to join gangs and, different situations where, I put myself in certain fights. I was able to get off social media and get off the notorious party drinking lifestyle to, I went overseas and I lived my own life. It was like 2 p.m. over there is 2 a.m. over here. So my day I would wake up and I didn't have any texts. I didn't have, different reasons to do bad. So in short, I became a much better ball player. I was able to lose weight mentally, spiritually. It all grew only because of the things I put around myself. So if you look in my room overseas, which, they treat us like freaking kings. I mean, I was in a palace, I had my own, bookshelf. I had my own, had my own court, had my own, had a lot of stuff. That was my own, just name it, car, freaking Wi-Fi, it just goes down the list. But to be simple as put, you didn't see any of, any liquor. You didn't see weed. You didn't see much of, I didn't have access to girls. Social media sometimes sucked ass over there in China. The Wi-Fi would cut off. So I just, I had to go days without my phone. Like, what millennial is doing that? So in short, I was able to just completely turn everything around me into good stuff that was going to fuel me to be a greater person. And then, I am who I am today, with the business, with the ability to, reach different people through my media company. And I'm, working on I should start my acting debut pretty soon. Um, and it all came from, I was just this introverted kid when I came overseas. Like in the NBA, I was a very, very shy kid. Like even doing podcasts here right now, like sometimes I get nervous. Like sometimes I get anxious. Like I gotta get up and get moving. I feel much more relaxed. Like the yoga helped. Like all this stuff that I normally just would freaking just go on a tyranny about when I was, in pain in college. I was able to then go overseas and see that, wow, like people really aren't stressed as much, I would say. I don't want to compare the Eastern Western philosophy, but in short, my entire lifestyle has just fueled me to be happy. And now just I come from a place of just pure genuine. I can just say, like, when I was a kid, I was dumb as fuck. Like, that guy that you grew up with, like he was mean, he was a bully.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he did some dumb stuff. Yeah. It's easy to say, but back then, like I struggled, and I really commend myself for going over there and finding a way to, make good out of it. Because like what I once told I told Isaiah this, I told my family, my girlfriend, if I don't make it to the NBA, I will not ever be happy. I may never smile again. Like I'm talking tears after losses with Vols. I'm talking tears after wins on the Grizzlies in the NBA after we had just won, but I didn't play. And I'm like, like this coach really doesn't like me. So now it's like, it was just tough because I'm in a situation where business doesn't always lead to the work that you put in. But then I went overseas and I learned that, man, it's so much more to life. Like it was all basketball with me. It was like, if this basketball doesn't work out, I might fucking shoot myself in the head. That was really my mentality. It was that or, death, seriously. And I'm just being real. Like if it didn't work out, I probably would be in like a gang or something that's very, very silly. So I dodged a very, very tight bullet, just getting out the league and being in a situation where, I could just really think for myself and move by myself. I wasn't looking up to people that were, all about the women and, money and clothes. I was actually standing with the people now as opposed to thinking I'm above, so yeah, in short, going overseas can have its benefits, even though, I'm out the league. I just want to really stress to people that I am very, very well aware of what's going on around the world, and the possibility of me getting to the league is still there. It's very high. I'm working on my game. I'm still overseas. I was even able to, go and play point. I was able to, these days you got Steph Curry shooting half court shots and shit. And I was the type to just bully somebody and put the ball in the rim. You don't get appreciated for that as much these days. So I was able to go overseas and really conceptualize that and work on some things that I think will lead to me getting back. But when will that be? I don't know. I'm not going to summer league. I can promise you that with all this COVID. So, I'm still fighting, but I appreciate the question, man. I really do. Did you ever play overseas, Alexis? You played over there a lot, didn't you? Yeah.
I played 11 years overseas, bro. I'm retired now.
So because you used to play in the WNBA and then you would just go straight overseas like weeks later.
Yeah. So my first 6 years of being a professional athlete was 6 in the WNBA and overseas. So you're literally playing 11 out of 12 months a year, maybe, but depending on how deep your teams go, maybe 10 months. Takes a toll on your body. I mean, I loved it and hated it all at the same time. You know what I mean? Because you don't get to rest. And when you know how it is, when you overseas, you don't have off nights. You can't afford to have an off night because they're going to look to replace you. They like, look, this is your contract. This is what we paying you. We paying you to do this, to perform at this level, X, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, whatever it is. And if you don't
turn around quick.
Listen, I've got cut from teams overseas just because they didn't like me, bro. And I'm talking about we winning and I'm hooping, I'm playing, like I'm doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? And then when they get cut, I get cut. Ended up having to sue a team before. One time, and that was in Turkey. Then in Israel, I get cut. They like, oh, we need a guard that looks more to score. And I'm like, y'all do know that I can go out here and be selfish and drop 30 every game, right? But that's not my game. That's not my game. So they cut me the night we went into first place. And after that, they didn't even make the play. That happened to me twice, going into first place and getting cut. Yeah, bro. It's like, well, and I ain't gonna lie. When it comes to politics, I didn't understand that there's a time and a place to speak your mind. And sometimes when people ask you a question, they don't really want an honest answer. I didn't know that because I was raised to, speak your mind, tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say I ain't never lied. That'd be a lie in itself. I'm not saying that. But if you ask me something, I'm gonna speak from my heart and I'm gonna give you a God's honest answer from my viewpoint or my opinion. That's gotten me cut before. So actually, even in the WNBA, kind of that's in my opinion. And if anybody want to challenge that, I would love to sit down and have a conversation. But that's a big reason why I got blackballed from the league. You're telling me 6 years in the league, out of those 6 years, 2 championships, I went from playing 20, 30 minutes a game to playing 0, bro. And I still wasn't really complaining. I'm the type of person like, yo, coach, what I got to do to play? Because I'm killing your guards in practice. Why am I not playing? Like, they can't. Like, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need to know. I'm the type of person like, I need to know, bro. I don't like the gray area. That's not me. It's got me in a lot of trouble, but I also think it's saved me a lot of trouble at the same time because people know exactly where I stand. We ain't got tiptoe around it. I've gotten better now. I'm not going to fire off on everybody. But I know that you got to not only, like you say, business does not always give you. You're not always going to reap what you sow in the business world or in the professional sense, because that's just not how it goes, unfortunately. Everything you learn growing up as a young athlete, as a kid, what you put into it is what you get out of it. It's probably 80% true. I mean, realistically, you still got to grind. You still got to put in the time. You still got to sacrifice. You still got to be disciplined. You still need to do all of that. You just also have to realize it still may not go your way.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I'm sure you can relate.
Y'all done got me ramped up. I'm over here sweating and everything, bro.
Hey, that's why you got a podcast.
Let me get my water, man. Hold on. I need a 20. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Put me in, coach.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. But I remember because you got hurt. Like, he literally tore his ACL, and he was like in his senior year. He just signed to Florida, and he was playing IMG, the number 1 team. Was y'all number 1 in the country?
Yeah, number 1 team in that
year. Yeah. So and then he had to sit out his whole freshman year in college, and then that led to him, then going to Memphis. So. I can relate to that, man. How did you get back, and what did you go through to get back? Because we don't talk about this side of it a lot. Most times we talk more about hoop, but
man, it's crazy. But I tore my ACL my senior year at IMG. Man, it was actually a few weeks before the national tournament, but ultimately that led to me redshirting my first year of college. Also, I'm also, I used to party, do all that kind of stuff, do the whole 9 yards too. And then what led to me getting back on the court, actually, personally, I didn't feel like I was ready, but, I still played that last year. And it didn't actually go so good, I think, because, knowing me, I grew up, man, the number 1 player in Tennessee at my age. Went to IMG, which is the number 1 school. Still got players on that team that are doing well at this time too. But it's just crazy though, bro. Like,
yeah, is it hard to see people? Like, you could be working hard, then all of a sudden you lose it in Then you see this guy who may not have been working hard, and you got to sit out.
Yeah, I do see that a lot, and I do think working hard, man. I used to have a high school coach at IMG, Vince Walden. He used to always tell me, working hard.
Vince.
Yeah, that's my dog, man. He's at Texas A&M now. Came a long way, but he used to always tell me hard work doesn't guarantee success. It only gives you a chance. So I used to always go by that, man. Even though, you know, things might not work out all the time, I always think that, you know, nothing in nature blooms all year. So just be patient with yourself, you know, everything will fall in place.
What made you pick Memphis? Or, you know, what made you pick Memphis when you left Florida?
Man, to be honest, so Penny was my coach growing up. A lot of people may not know this, but Penny was my coach. I won, I think, 8th from 11th grade. I also played with Mike Miller 9th through 11th grade also. So I played with both of them, and they were both head coach and assistant coach. So it was a no-brainer for who I felt that had my best interests on the court. Off the court, when I got there, I learned the same thing. So I felt that as just with them, it was the best option.
Awesome. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, yeah, I think we can pretty much, you know, wrap up the show from there. Yeah, we make sure we do this every weekend for sure. I want to start doing it during the weekdays too, but I want to fill up the guests before I do that. That's kind of where I've been hesitant, you know, just making sure we have guests, and you know, I'm just a bit busy, but so trying to communicate, having an interview sheet will help a lot. But yeah, is there anything else? What else going on in Knox before we wrap it up?
That's a Bobby question, bro. You know I live in North Carolina, right?
Yeah, I thought she was in Knox. Oh, dang, okay.
Hey, look, I deflected it a couple times, and I was like, well, in Knoxville, you know, I gotta keep it 3,000 for the people. I'm up here by Lake Norman, bro. I'm in North Carolina.
Oh, dang, okay. I'm thinking you on
that's
campus.
what I told you, bro. I gotta get to the water, man. I love y'all, man. But I got to get outside. You feel me? Yeah, and what's going on in Knoxville is the merch that we got going. Go to volunteerroadshow.com. Check out the new face mask. All right, we got the Lady Ball face mask. We have the checkerboard face mask. We got the UT emblem face mask. Y'all support us, man. And just on the tail end of something when you were talking about, because Isaiah, I didn't know that you tore your ACL at such a crucial time as an athlete. And it reminded me of my good friend Derek Furlow. He wrote a book called What's Next and Sports Life Business, like how to transition. And because his story is way different from all of ours, but just being able for athletes to tap into that as a resource in case for some reason you do have a career-ending injury, or what happens after college if you don't make it to be a professional athlete. What are you going to do? So I want to encourage everybody out there, every athlete or person, because he goes and speaks to companies and everything. I don't know if y'all can see this, but What's Next? Sports Life Business, Derek Furlow. It's a good read. I've read it clearly. And I've taken.
I read it too. It really.
One more time. And this is a VFL, in case y'all didn't know, football.
He teaches, you know, discipline, you know, how sports can really, you know, apply in the business world. You know, it really helped me on that end for sure. A lot of the practices that I used to complain about in college was just fucking literally success practices. So I hated it back in college because someone was making me do it, but now I had to do it myself and discipline myself. And, you know, a lot of that stuff we talk about in the book.
Oh, yeah. It's a good read for sure. And before we head out, Isaiah, Jarnell, y'all got anything before I close this up and give one more shout out and thank everybody for tuning in?
Hey, wear your mask, y'all. We're going to get through this together. I'm with y'all. I'm with the people.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
What'd you say?
I appreciate y'all for having me.
Man, thank you for spending your Saturday, you know, giving us an hour of your time. We definitely appreciate it. I know the people appreciate it.
Yeah.
So before we head out, as always, thank everybody who watched, who tuned in, watched, or listened. Thank you to our sponsors again, Hound Dogs of Knoxville on Kingston Pike, and also Tennessee Tap House on Peters Road. Make sure y'all go check them out, support them, order online, all that good stuff. And big shout out to our producer, Bobby Catfish. What up? We thank you for this, man. You making us look real good. You know what I mean? We couldn't do it all by ourselves. So thank you for helping us look good and official and being able to use a platform in the way that we want to.
I'm so glad y'all were on the show. I really appreciate it. Y'all doing a great job. Great job.
Thank you.
Absolutely, y'all. Until next time, we out.
All right, John.
Peace.